Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to yet another video here on the channel, and today we're going to be talking about a pretty unfortunate situation. I actually think that this specific topic is one that I touched upon in a previous video a few months back, but it's basically surrounding these gender reveal parties and how one of them actually ended up starting one of the most devastating wildfires in recent history. Kind of talking about the safety issues that kind of arise around these kinds of things, and today, well, actually, not today. A few days ago, we got the news now that the people responsible for a failed or a gone crazy gender party in California are now facing multiple charges for what happened and are actually facing a pretty significant time in prison if they do end up getting basically found guilty of all this. Now, the charges are in, from what I understand. I found an article that helps kind of explain the topic a little bit, so we're going to go ahead and get into that. I also want to say I've been looking through my YouTube analytics, and it looks like YouTube has been unsubscribing a lot of people from the channel. It keeps saying that there's, quote, closed accounts, and then on Twitter, people are, like, messaging me talking about they're getting unsubbed and stuff, so if you've been watching the channel, man, make sure that you have been subscribed, because YouTube is just a not great website. So a Southern California couple are facing manslaughter charges in connection with a deadly wildfire last September that prosecutors say was sparked by a smoke bomb during a gender reveal. The El Dorado fire, which began at a park in Uicapa, California, killed a firefighter and injured two other firefighters while burning more than 22,000 acres across San Bernardino and Riverside counties. A grand jury indicted the couple, Refugio Manuel Jimenez Jr., and Angela Renee Jimenez, on one count each of involuntary manslaughter, San Bernardino County's District Attorney Jason Anderson said at a news conference on Tuesday. They also face 3 felony counts of recklessly causing a fire with great bodily injury, 4 felony counts of recklessly causing a fire to inhabited structures, and 22 misdemeanor counts. Around half of wildfires in the western United States are caused by people from downed power lines, discarded cigarettes, untended campfires, while the other half are started by lightning. Quote, obviously he wouldn't have been out there if this hadn't started in the first place, Mr. Anderson said of Charles Morton, 39, the firefighter who was killed. He's fighting a fire that was started because of a smoke bomb. That's the only reason that he's here. Both Mr. and Miss Jimenez, who held the gender reveal, pleaded not guilty and were released without having to post bail. Lawyers representing them could not be immediately reached for comment. Mr. Anderson said that if they were convicted, they could face several years in jail. Mr. Morton began working at the San Bernardino National Forest in 2007, according to a statement from the U.S. Forest Service, and was survived by his wife, daughter, parents, and 2 brothers. Vicky Christensen, the agency's chief, called Mr. Morton, quote, a well-respected firefighter and leader who was always there for his squad and crew at the toughest times. Now, alright, that's a lot to unpack. So first, I want to say, right, that you know, these two, the Jimenezes here, they guaranteed did not intend to start a wildfire with their actions, right? I mean, the way that they saw everything going down, they were just, you know, having a lighthearted gender reveal party to celebrate the child or whatever that was upcoming. They couldn't have just, you know, predicted this could happen, though. Like, I feel like this is a pretty rational concern, right? Like, especially if you live in the western United States, which is especially vulnerable to wildfires. I'm not necessarily sure pyrotechnics and explosives and all this other stuff is really things that, you know, you should be dabbling with, especially in the time period of the year where wildfires are not only more common, but also more dangerous, a much more critical threat. I feel like there's much better, safer ways to reveal the gender of your upcoming child than to, you know, blow a smoke bomb up or whatever, right? And the unfortunate circumstance is a man died, okay? Someone was killed because of this. And I'm sure that that wasn't their intentions, right? Like, I'm pretty certain that they didn't just go out to this gender reveal party like, yo, you trying to fucking kill a firefighter today, man? Like, let's go, you know, dapping each other up, like, come on. But I mean, you do kind of have to face the consequences of what happens, right? And if you make insane decisions that lead to somebody dying, then yeah, you have to face these consequences. The most unfortunate part of this is this guy's leaving behind a family. This heroic firefighter that died had a wife, had a daughter, had loving parents, had 2 brothers, and these people will never see this guy ever again. Will never see Mr. Morton, as he's called in the article, ever again, all because two strangers to them decided that they wanted to, risk it. Now, with that being said, though, as well, I think it's important that we look at all of what's going on here and get the full context. I went ahead and I found an article that includes a little bit more context behind what actually happened, so you guys can actually judge for yourself whether or not that this was actually like a fair punishment, being charged with 30 different counts, including felonies and misdemeanors. The fire started September 5th when temperatures soared to 20 degrees above normal. The pyrotechnic device the couple used in the gender reveal ignited the dry grounds in the park. Anderson said the fire quickly spread north to the Ucapa Ridge. The Jimenezes tried to extinguish the fire using water bottles before calling 911 to report it, officials said soon after the blaze erupted. The couple cooperated with investigators as the fire continued to spread. Within 2 days, the fire burned through nearly 10,000 acres, forcing more than 20,000 people to evacuate. Morton died September 17th while trying to put out the fire. Quote, "It appears he was burned over by the fire and passed away," an incident report filed by the U.S. Forest Service concluded, the Los Angeles Times reported in October. The fire burned for 23 days. At least 6 fire departments worked to extinguish it, and Anderson said it had a tremendous effect on the community. Quote, "You're obviously dealing with lost lives, you're dealing with injured lives, and you're dealing with people's residences that were burned and their land that was burned," he said. Quote, "That encompasses a lot of not only emotion but damage, both financially and psychologically, in a way that many will never get back, particularly the Morton family." So, I mean, given all of this new context, right, I think that it really kind of helps provide at least a little bit more clarity in this, right? Because, like, the other article was kind of making it out, right, that, like, it was like this cut and dry thing, right? Like, that they were going to be charged, there was no nuance to the situation beyond that, and I don't think that that's true. I mean, this fire burned for nearly an entire month. At least 6 fire departments were basically tasked with extinguishing this. Firefighters were injured, 1 was killed. I mean, you gotta imagine the amount of financial damage this also caused. People's homes being burned, buildings being burned, things like this, right? I mean, I can't even imagine, like, the final toll that this really took on the entirety of the area around it. Probably like tens of millions worth in damage, right? Just destroyed because these guys decided that they, were gonna have this little gender reveal party. But something else important to consider here too, they did try to extinguish the fire, and they also did call 911. Like, they didn't wait for this to become a 10,000 acre wildfire before they stepped forward to admit responsibility. They both cooperated, they both tried to put the fire out. They actually did put in some sort of effort to, like, try and make the situation better. But still, man, at the end of the day, I just don't think it's enough. Like, someone lost their lives, all of this damage was done, right? All for something that really could have been avoided. And it didn't even have to be avoided by, like, not having a party or not revealing your child's gender. It really all comes down to picking responsible ways to do things. And I think that that's important regardless of what you're doing, right? I mean, you would probably also consider it extremely irresponsible to have a 21-gun salute in the direction of a crowd to announce your baby's gender too, right? Like, there's a lot of things that you just don't do, man. I mean, I think these cakes or whatever are fine. Like, you see these people getting these cakes, like, I saw one that was kind of goofy. It said buck or doe, cut to know. It was like some very, redneck type shit. But, you cut the cake and it's blue if it's a boy, pink if it's a girl, right? Like, that's fine to me, right? If you're doing something that really can't hurt people, that can't force tens of thousands of people to evacuate and flee their homes for their lives, then I really don't see a big issue with it, right? But I mean, even the person who popularized the gender reveal party has actually come forward because of this specific incident to basically ask for people to stop doing it. Because at the end of the day, man, it just really isn't worth it, right? And people do all kinds of crazy shit. People take this to the extremes that they don't need to take it to in order to, I guess, do something that in all reality isn't even all that important. So with that being said though, thank you guys for watching this video. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like. Subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel. Follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at @SubToOptimus. Make sure to check out Shop Opti down below. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, not doing a gender reveal party anytime soon, hopefully, and signing out.